Great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm good, although I'm sad that the show's really gonna end, although...
I know, me too.
I guess you never know with these things, right?
No, we've sort of been teased about false endings, but it's pretty much it. I had my last day 2 weeks ago.
You did?
Yeah.
Your last day of shooting?
Yeah.
Was it the last episode?
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
Okay, well, we've learned something then.
Yes, I make it to the last episode.
You do make it to the last... Oh,
away.
you can tell that? That's
Well,
allowed?
I don't think the odds were pretty...
Well, I tell you, one of the guys who works here is like, oh, yeah, she's going to get killed tomorrow. It's like,
Really?
no, she's not going to get killed. Of course she's not going to get killed.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be one of the obvious choices.
Although maybe you're trying to trick us, and maybe this is all another Sopranos ruse.
It could. You know, I could be tricked. A lot of us have said, like, we think we know how it ends, and David could probably take some of the cast members and shoot some other scenes or things that we've shot he may never use just to throw us off.
Would
You
he
never
go to
know in
those
that
lengths to do that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't. Has he ever done anything like that before?
In the finale where Adriana was killed,
Yeah?
none of us got those pages. I mean, of course we knew because she told us, but we didn't get the pages. I guess to, you know, protect from things getting out.
Yeah, yeah.
And this year we only got our pages. We didn't get full scripts.
Oh, wow.
And they were numbered, and yeah, it was
so
like
they
high
trust
security
you
this
less
year.
because, well, in the
You
past...
think they'd trust us more after all these years?
No, because the last season, what do you care if things get out, you know?
Yeah, that's true, actually.
In the past, they could kill you and
if
throw
they
you
kill
off
you
the show.
off, your part gets bigger right before.
That's true.
So it could have been a strategy of some people.
People probably want to get killed.
That.
Oh, that's interesting. Your part gets bigger right before you die.
Well, haven't you noticed? That's usually what happens.
My part hasn't gotten any bigger. I don't know. Well, that's something else. Well, yeah, I guess, but I never really broke it down like that. So how was the last day? What was it like? Were people emotional?
Well, you know, I shot the pilot when I was 16 years old, and I'm 25. So it's 9.5 years that I've spent with these people.
Yeah.
And it was symbolically my last shot, which isn't the last shot of the show. It was just the scene that day was me walking out of a door. And I had done it 2 or 3 times, a very simple action, and they were like, okay, we need it again. And I was like, okay. And I'm a very emotional person. I think I was trying to sort of block it out that it was my last day and try and act normal on set. And when I walk back in, the entire crew is standing there, and David Chase, our creator, and Jim, and Edie, and Robert all came back in, and they said, that's a series wrap on Jamie. And they all just stood and, like, clapped in front of me. And it was one of those moments where they say, you know, like, your life flashed before your eyes. Like, the past 10 years flashed before my eyes. And, of course, I started crying, and they brought flowers and champagne and a cake. And I spent the next hour, you know, hugging everybody. But then the next night was our big cast party at a club in Manhattan. So it was like, it's been so great working with you. I love you, but, you know, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's like an Italian family dinner. You say goodbye 15 different times to everybody. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's something else. And who cried? I mean, were there any of these big tough guys? Like, did Paulie Walnuts break down? Or, I mean...
Well, he wasn't there on my last day, but we have a table read.
Oh, really?
He just wasn't in the scene.
Okay.
He wasn't in the scene, that's all. Okay, take notes. Anyway, after the last read-through and we ended reading the script, there was just this silence. Because nobody wanted to get up, nobody wanted to say anything, nobody wanted to admit it's really over. And Edie was crying, and I was crying, and Robert Eiler, who plays AJ, my little brother on the show, was sitting next to me. And he was just like, Jamie, don't look at me, because if you look at me, I'll start crying. And I think some of the guys got a little teary, too.
Really?
I won't say which, so you won't know who makes it, but yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of all of our lives.
I would never have guessed that the Sopranos were a big bunch of wussies, the whole gang.
I wouldn't say wussies. I like to refer to them as teddy bears.
No, yes, I know what you're saying. Yeah, well, sure, you worked together for a very long time.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to talk about what you have coming up next, and you have a very close relationship with your brother on the show. Some say too close. I don't know, I made that up.
No, it's not.
Kimmel and Sigler is here. The Sopranos is on HBO. Carlos Mencia coming up, and Rodrigo Gabriel. We'll be right back. Hey there, we're back. Kimmel and Sigler here. Carlos Mencia is coming up. And Rodrigo y Gabriela, we were just talking about The Sopranos, which it's crazy to me that you guys shot the pilot 9.5 years ago, but this is the family photo from the first season. And look at that, you're just a little baby. And your brother, Robert Eiler, who plays Anthony Jr., was really a little kid there.
He was like a round little munchkin.
Yeah.
Now he's a tall, handsome man.
You guys are like best friends now,
We
right?
are best,
For real.
best of friends. I do. I adore him. I love him. He's one of the closest people in my life. Yeah.
Would it be too weird for you ever to like date him?
Yes.
I mean, but he's not really your brother. He's a TV.
not really my brother, but I'm not a method actor, but it would feel somewhat incestual.
Because like on the Brady Bunch, they were having sex with, all of them were having sex with each other.
Apparently.
Yeah, it
But
was
they were,
weird.
I think they were working more every day, closer with each other.
You think that's like some
Maybe
sort
it's
of...
because we never got our like vacation to Hawaii. I was always waiting for that, like the big Soprano family vacation. We
That
never
would be
got
weird, yeah, Sopranos in Hawaii.
Yeah, right?
Well, maybe years from now, you never know
You never
what'll
know.
happen.
Maybe Miami, I don't know.
Yeah, Sopranos.
Something.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did go to Florida, but I don't think they brought you.
No,
when they
I
took
never
their
got to
little
go.
trip. Now now that the show is wrapping up, people may not realize that you do a lot of stage acting. You've done Broadway stuff, and do you sing? Do you perform
I do.
like that?
I started singing. That's really what interests me in the business. I was a dancer and a singer, and I'd done strictly musical theater before Sopranos came along. And I've told this story before, but it's been so long. When Sopranos initially was casting, they were looking for a 16-year-old Italian-looking girl for a show called Sopranos. That's all the information that I got. And I was 16, and I figured I looked Italian, and because of Sopranos, I assumed it was musical. So that's why I auditioned for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. It was like the Partridge Family.
Yeah, I thought it was about singers. So-
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And even when you auditioned for it, you did, or you figured it out?
I read the sides, and then afterwards, I remember I turned to Georgianne Walking, and I was like, well, there's no accompaniment. Am I supposed to sing a cappella for you? And she was like, you can sing if you want to. You don't really have to for the audition, so.
And did you sing?
No.
You didn't, yeah.
No,
Well, that's
but I
probably-
sang a few times on the show.
And when you were like, you were in school and stuff, were you in high school at the time?
Yeah, I was in high school. I was a junior in high school.
Were you in like the theater program? And
Yeah,
that?
I did musical theater in high school, but after my junior year, I was sort of hesitant to continue because every year we would do sort of like this preview performance for the elementary kids. And it was sort of to give us a little extra practice before our opening night, and they would pick select few musical numbers. And we were doing the musical Anything Goes, and I was playing Bonnie, and had this big number called the Heaven Hop. And I had a quick change in the play after that, so the way they made my costume was I had a halter top that Velcroed in the back. And the way it was, I couldn't wear a bra with it or anything, but it was fine.
Uh-huh.
And I'm such a dedicated performer that I was in the middle of my performance, and I'm singing and I'm dancing, and I didn't realize that my top fell down.
Oh, no.
And I kept going, and all of a sudden I look in the first 2 rows, and every little kid was like,
Oh,
and I
I'll
basically
bet.
gave these, 4th graders their first shot of boobies.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of high school girls would kill themselves after the
I was
embarrassment
pretty
of
mortified.
that.
I laughed, and then I went to the bathroom with my girlfriend and I cried. But I see senior year when they came back, I think they were disappointed. They were expecting something.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I was
sure.
making sure I was
You want to keep
strapped in
moving
there.
forward.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you on it. It's a great show, and you did a great job on it. And it will be missed. Jamie Lynn Sigler is here. The Sopranos, Sunday nights at 9 on HBO. We'll be right back with Carlos Mencia.